Chapter 32 The Return. Morning in the piney woods was usually a time of industry. It was a time for chopping wood, hauling water, and checking the trot lines for catfish. But on the morning after the return, the Lebowski homestead was a tableau of aggressive inactivity. The sun was high, filtering through the dogwood trees. The cicadas were already warming up their buzzsaws. But on the porch, nothing moved except the slow curl of smoke from the dude's pipe. The dude lay on the chaise lounge, which had been dragged inside to sit upon the rug. He was wearing a fresh robe, this one made from a repurposed quilt in a drunkard's path pattern. "It holds the room," the dude murmured to the ceiling. "It really does." "You have stated that, dude, 3 times. Walter sat at the rough-hewn table, surrounded by scraps of paper, a bottle of ink, and a steel-nibbed pen that looked sharp enough to use as a shiv. He was wearing a clean shirt, buttoned to the collar, and his spectacles were polished to a mirror shine. "I am drafting the affidavit," Walter announced. "I am formalizing the grievance." "Let it go, Walter," the dude sighed. "We got the rug. We're alive. The bums won." "It is not about winning, dude." Walter slammed his hand on the table, causing the inkwell to jump. "It is about the record. If we do not document the negligence, the history books will say we were merely tourists. They will erase the struggle." "There are no history books about us, Walter." "There will be," Walter insisted. "I am writing to the Ashley County Eagle. I am writing to the Packet Company. I am writing to the governor." Donnie wandered in from the yard. He was holding a fresh egg. "The general laid an egg, Walter," Donnie said, confused. "Roosters do not lay eggs, Donnie," Walter said without looking up. "That is biological heresy. It was likely a hen who identifies with his leadership style." "It's small and brown," Donnie said, examining it. "Put it in the skillet. Now, silence. I am composing the preamble." Walter dipped the pen. Scritch, scratch. The sound was aggressive, like a rodent clawing at the floorboards. "Read it back," Walter ordered himself. He cleared his throat and adjusted his glasses. "To Mr. Tinsdale, proprietor of the Washita Mercantile and Captain Thibodeau of the steamer Natchez. Sir, I write to you regarding the incidents of May 14th through May 17th, Anno Domini 1899. Be advised that I, Walter Sobchak, veteran of the Cuban campaign and freeholder of this county, do hereby accuse you of gross negligence, breach of contract, and conspiracy to commit topographical fraud. Item 1. The abandonment of freight 1 Keelam rug, imitation, at the Longview Depot, a known ghost town and haven for brigands, constitutes a violation of the Common Carrier Act. Item 2. The clerk on duty, a man of pale countenance and deficient moral fiber, refused to honor the Code of the West regarding the assistance of travelers in distress. Item 3. The sunk lands. You sent 3 men, a donkey, and a pig into a geological depression known to be infested with methane gas, spectral phenomena, and aggressive fauna. This was not a delivery route. It was a death march. We demand restitution in the amount of $5 USD for pain, suffering, and the consumption of 1 paraffin bologna which caused significant gastrointestinal distress to the team. Govern yourself accordingly. Signed, Walter Sobchak. Walter put the paper down. He looked at the dude. "Thoughts?" "It's, thorough, Walter. A little heavy on the death march part." "It was a death march, dude. We ate raw pork. We fought nihilists." "Yeah, but you think the clerk is going to read that?
He is legally obligated to read it. Walter folded the paper with sharp military creases. I will seal it with wax. I will deliver it personally to the post office. It will hang over his head like the sword of Damocles. Can I sign it too, Walter? No, Donnie. Your signature lacks gravity. You dot your I's with circles. I want to sign, Donnie insisted. He grabbed the pen and scribbled something at the bottom. Walter snatched the paper back. I am the walrus? What does that mean, Donnie? I don't know, Donnie shrugged. It just felt right. It is nonsense, Walter sighed. Fine, it stays. It adds an element of psychological instability. It will unsettle them. We have to go to town to mail it, the dude said, not moving from the rug. That involves motion. We take the donkey, Walter said. We ride into Hamburg. We drop the mail. We show our faces. We let them know that we have returned from the void. Do we have to? It is the victory lap, dude. We must show the squares that we abide. An hour later, the three were back on the road, but this time without the wagon. They walked three abreast down the sandy trace towards Hamburg. Walter marched with his rifle. Donnie skipped, happy to be wearing shoes that were finally dry. The dude shuffled, his new quilt robe dragging in the dust. Bronchi walked behind him, unburdened, carrying only the letter in his saddlebag. They passed the town limits. They passed the white picket fences. They passed Mrs. Honeysuckle, who was watering her azaleas. She looked at him. She looked at the mud stains that would never truly wash out of Walter's duster. She looked at the wild, 1,000-yard stare in their eyes. She dropped her watering can. Good morning, madame, Walter bellowed, tipping his hat aggressively. The mail must go through. They reached the post office. It was a small brick building next to the bank. Walter marched up the steps. He opened the brass slot. He held the letter up to the light, savoring the moment. Into the belly of the beast, Walter whispered. He dropped the letter. Clack! It was gone. Into the system. There, Walter said, dust in his hands. Justice is in motion. Can we go now? Donnie asked. I want to watch the train come in. No, Donnie, the dude said, turning back towards the woods. We're going home. We have a rug to sit on. They walked back through the town. They didn't stop at the saloon. They didn't stop at the barber. They were men apart now. They had seen the cross at light. They had navigated the sunk lambs. They had eaten the wax meat. As they passed the livery stable, the dude stopped. He looked at a poster nailed to the wall. Coming soon, the Grand Bowling Parlor and Recreation Hall, opening September 1899. The dude stared at it. Donnie stared at it. Walter, Donnie whispered, look. Walter adjusted his spectacles. He read the fine print. Regulation lanes, hardwood floors, automatic pin setting by boys. It's real, the dude said. It is destiny, Walter agreed. September, Donnie said with his eyes shining. We have to practice, Walter. We have to get ready. We will train, Walter promised. We will use melons until the balls arrive. The dude smiled, a real smile. Yeah, the dude said. We'll be there. They turned and walked back toward the cabin, their shadows stretching long in the afternoon sun. The road was dusty, the heat was oppressive, and they were broke. But they had a rug, they had a letter in the mail, and come September, they had a league.